Hi guys, welcome to the First Guy Mentorship YouTube channel. Happy New Year to every one of you. So the past few weeks, I'll be getting requests about my new strategy. Making a video about the strategy, and yes, I decided to make a video to explain to you guys how this strategy works and how you can also benefit from it, right? So yeah, without wasting much of your time, let's dive into the video and understand how this concept works. So this concept is simply called London Travel, which simply means liquidity concept, right? So you're actually looking out for Asian liquidity to be taken out before you can pick any trade, right? So as you can see on this annotation here, you can see that I actually marked a particular zone here, like a range, right? So that is your Asian liquidity. And then this horizontal line that you're having here is your London Open, right? So when you're trading the London Trap Zone, you consider these things, right? You consider the Asian liquidity, the London Open, right? And then your entry. So how do you go about this? Your liquidity range that you're marking, your Asian liquidity range that you're marking is always at the end of the Asian session, right? You know, there are a lot of liquidity that are formed in the Asian session, which is later be taken out by the London session when the London session starts, right? So that part of the liquidity is what we are going to work with, and is always at the end of the Asian session that you always see the liquidity that you're going to work with. When we get to the live chart, you guys will understand better. So that is how you mark your Asian liquidity, right? So now, what's the next you look out for is your horizontal line, which is the London Open. Now, your London Open starts at 2 a.m. New York time. Note this, so you can convert this time to your local time, so you won't miss out on setups, right? So once you put this, there's always a candle that forms at that London Open. So that candle is what determines your bias, right? So if it is a bearish candle, then that means you're going to be selling in the market. But if it is a bullish candle, then that means you're going to be looking out for buys, right? So in this scenario, we're going to say it is a bearish candle, right? And then if I remove this, you will see that this candle actually took out liquidity, right? Took out this liquidity, and then the next thing you look out for is to take out this above liquidity. Now, both side liquidity has to be taken out before you can decide to sell, right? So this one is already taken out. This one is the next one to be taken out, and it's also taken out, right? And the next thing for you is to wait for a pullback, right? Then you'll see a candle formation forming as your entry, and then you enter off from there, right? And then boom, you get your TP. So the TP target that I always target for this strategy is 3.5, because I've tried 5 hour, I've tried 4 hour, I've tried even 7, right? There's some trade that gets to those risk to reward, but for me to be consistent on this, I decided to make it short, right? I decided to make the TP short, right, which is 3.5. So the market always gets to that 3.5. And there are times that if I want to target more than 3.5, the market might just stop. Like, let's say I'm targeting 5%, right? The market might just get to 4%, and then the next thing it reverses back to the entry, right? So I have to make my TP that way for this strategy. So now, same thing goes for the bullish scenario, right? You mark out your Asian liquidity, then you wait for both sides to be taken out, right? And once it's taken out, this second side that has been taken out, you saw the market retracing back to the upside, and then gives you a candle formation for you to enter from, and then boom, that's your buys, right? So this is how easy this concept works. So now let's go to the live chart. So you'll see some of the trades that worked out last month and also beginning of this year, right? So I will actually start my chart from yep. So I'll try to start my chart from 29th. Yeah, 29th, that's Friday, right? Friday that people didn't actually trade. I actually took the setup that day. So this is how it works. So now, as you can see, this is your Asian liquidity. So the liquidity is not that much. Now, if you're conversant with Asian range, right? Asian range indicator, they will mark the whole of this zone for you, right? But if you're training this strategy, you only need this little bit of liquidity to work with, right? This is what you need. Then you wait for the market to take out the zone, this liquidity above, and then it comes back to take out the liquidity below. And then the next thing, it prints the candle formation for you, form of another block, and then you enter up from there. Now, see what happens here. I have my entry at 2.8 pips, right? So for this strategy, I always ask extra 2 pips to any pips that I get from my entry, right? To be safe. So that means for this trade, I'll be having 4.8, right? And then my TP at what's 3.5, right? So that is how I do trade this strategy. Because some of you like, oh, flip zone, you use 3 pips, you use 2 pips. How come you're not using 5 pips? So for this strategy, that is for me to be safe in the trade. I have to make sure all these things are in place, right? So now the next thing you're seeing here, you can see that the range here also is not perfect. You can see the range formed, and then the next thing you see this pullback. Assuming this was actually the start of the London Open to be nice, right? But it wasn't. So I have to mark the whole of this one up to this guy here, because this is where the candle, the Asian session stops before the London Open, right? So then the next thing we see here is what bearish candle taking out this liquidity. We wait for this one to be taken out, and then we enter off from here, right? Now entering off from there, 6 pips stop loss, and then 3.5, right? So now this is one that actually got me stopped out, right? As you can see, this is the liquidity I marked, right? And then the market was telling me that it's going to be bearish, taking out this liquidity. So I waited for it to take out the liquidity above also, which it did. And then this retracement, my entry off from here, but I still got stopped out, right? So SL is part of the game. If there's any strategy that doesn't have SL, then that means it's not yet a strategy, because when you get into the live market, that's even when you might even start having the loss than the win, right? So this is another one again. As you can see how tiny the liquidity here is, and then it's still a bearish candle on that line, and then wait for it to take out liquidity below here also, and then boom, our entry touch the entry, and then boom to TP, right? So this is how this concept works, right? So if you check, you can backtest this on GBP USD, also backtest it on AUD USD, and tell me your results, right? I really need your feedback on this. And if you are able to use this concept to make money for yourself, send me a DM. And this strategy doesn't just stop there, right? I know if you're doing your backtesting, or probably you're picking these trades, there are other things also you need to consider, because there are times this requirement might not be met. Then what's the next thing for you to do? I'm not going to discuss that in this video. If you want to know more about this, then you send me a DM to join my team, and then there you will see the complete video of how you can get other conference if these requirements are not met, right? So thank you guys for watching this video. See you guys in my next video. My next video is going to be on flip zone, right? So you guys watch out for flip zone. I'm not doing lower time frame anymore because the losses there are massive, right? So just watch out for my flip zone video. And then thank you guys for watching. See you guys in my next video.